Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for BroadwayWorld. Up next from Manhattan Theatre Club is Tony and Pulitzer Prize winner John Patrick Shanley's new play Outside Mullingar, which will open on January 23rd at the Samuel J. Friedman Theatre. It will star Tony Award winner Brían O'Byrne and making her Broadway debut, Emmy winner Debra Messing. And I caught up with the company during a break in rehearsal. First of all, welcome back to MTC. How does that feel?
Well, I've done a million shows here over a very long period of time, like 20 years, and it's always been a great support and place to investigate new stuff, and so I'm glad to be back.
What can you tell us about the new play? How you came about to write it?
Well, I've been going back to my family's farm in Ireland, the farm that my father was born on, for about the last 25 years. And the way that they speak there is basically always publishable, the people on the farm. And I always meant that to write about it, but I was never ready. I was still running away from being Irish. So I wrote about the Italians and other things that came into my head to write about. And now the time of my life has come where I'll turn and face my family and celebrate what's so great about them.
Can you tell us anything about the play without giving anything away?
Sure. It's about an Irish farmer on a lonely farm in central Ireland who lived next door to a woman who's had her eye on him his whole life. And the question of the play is whether they'll be able to find a way to get along or not. And there are severe obstacles in the way.
You're working again with your director, Doug Hughes. Tell me what it's like working with him and working in the rehearsal room and creating with him.
Doug Hughes and I have been very fortunate in collaborating on several shows now, and we have a very comfortable relationship. And on this particular play, because I am Irish and Doug is Irish, and in fact we both went to Ireland together and visited my family this summer, we have a real commonwealth of experience to draw from. Doug's father was Barnard Hughes, the great Irish-American character actor, and my father was a shepherd on a farm in Ireland, and so it's been an extra level of collaboration on this one.
Take me back to the beginning of how you got involved, Doug, and why you wanted to direct this play.
I had an experience very similar to the one I had with Doubt, which is that I read the first line of Doubt, and I thought, I don't care really what comes after this. I want to do this, and I really felt that way after a page of Outside Mullingar. It's an entirely different play. It is a comedy in the most joyful, purest sense, but it's a play that's really tending toward the light, that has the guts to be simple and to remind us of things that are all too easily forgotten, about the courage required to really live and love. I've gotten into the habit of saying, if John Lennon had written plays, this is a play he would have written. It has that kind of focus and ability to distill powerful truths and to deploy them in just a delightfully comic way. But it's never sentimental. It's always really, really hip to the ways that we can foil ourselves and foil other people, and the fact that sometimes perversely the last thing we're willing to give up is our unhappiness, crazily, and that's comic.
To work on a new play is always terrific. It's the best. It's the best thing of all, because nobody else has done it before you, and it's all the obvious things. So it's great. Yeah.
So when you first read the play, what were your thoughts?
When I first read the play, I think that what I was attracted to was the language, was the fact that John Patrick uses English he attenuates it. It's the antithesis of Beckett, let's say. So in Beckett you have to try and compress an enormous amount of meaning into maybe 3 words, whereas with John Patrick you have to savor the language in your mouth, and you can't play the excess because then it would just be noise. You have to still find the truth of what the character is talking about, but he has to be a character who would use this amount of language to express something, to either hide it or to get it out.
What can you tell us about the role you're going to be playing?
Not a huge amount because I've only been doing it for a week, and whereas the idea is that you read a play, you have a notion of what the character is going to be like, and then it shifts, it morphs, it moves during rehearsal. So it's in that kind of fluid state where there are things that I've already discarded and things that I'm already attracted to that I didn't know existed before. So I really don't know the precise answer to that, but I can tell you that she's tough, which I enjoy, and she's the way in which she deals with her grief is to be kind of hard-hitting.
How excited are you to be coming to New York, coming to Broadway during the holiday season with this play?
Well, I'm very excited. I wish it were my Broadway debut, but I did a play called The Kentucky Cycle in 1993, so I went through all that rigmarole. But that's a much different animal. There was a lot of people on stage. It was a long event. But this just feels like it's so much of a small ensemble, and it's a really charming little play, and wonderful people in it. And it's a reunion for me because I've worked with Doug many times at the Seattle Repertory Theater. I've worked with John Shanley, and so it all feels like it's a good fit. And there's nothing like being in New York for the holidays and to be on Broadway, even though it's a limited run, but it's really, it's a nice coup. It's a nice little feather that I'm proud of it.
Now, talk about the play when you first read it, what you thought about it, and talk about the role.
I'll tell you what, because I got a phone call from my agent. He said, well, I have an offer for you to do a Broadway play. And I said, wait a minute, stop right there. What do you mean an offer? That doesn't happen. And he went on to explain, it's Doug, and they thought of me. So I had the material sent to me, and within, 20 minutes, I'd made up my mind that I was going to do it, because it just felt right. And Doug called me later that afternoon. I said, no, there's no debating about this. I'm in. And he was very happy, and I'm very happy. But it didn't take long, because I got the script about 2 months ago. So I started to work on it, because that's what you do. And it was the language just flowed so easily. Even though I don't speak the accent, I'm learning that as we go, but I'll get it.
Well, what was interesting, was hearing that John had written an Irish play. It's his first Irish play. It's not about his family, but it's certainly inspired by his family, and he's located it where his dad is from, which is this tiny village called Kalookan, and he lives outside that, and it's outside Mullingar, hence the title. Mullingar is a town in the Midlands in Ireland, and it's interesting because I come from a similar background. I come from a tiny rural village in the Midlands in Ireland. So it's very familiar territory for me, and so it was interesting. It was like, oh wow, Shani, this is nice. So I can hopefully bring something to the table that somebody might be able to use.
Talk about the role. What can you tell me about the man you're going to play?
Yeah, he's a middle-aged bachelor guy who's got slight eccentricities that are revealed through the play. Shanley likes to keep things from the audience for a while, and then he likes to reveal things, and this play is no different. He lives with his dad at the start of the play, and he lives next door to Debra Messing's character, and both of them have not found love yet. And so then we see this lovely little love story, quirky, very quirky, funny, and hopefully, maybe, on a good day, moving.
First of all, welcome to Broadway. I know it's early. How do you feel?
I feel deliriously giddy and grateful. This has been literally my dream since I was a young girl, and as life unfolded, I thought it would never really come to pass, and this whole thing has been magical. From reading the play that made me so inspired, because I felt like I have never read anything like this before. The world that John Shanley has created, it's lyrical and poetic and beautiful, but it's also funny, and the four characters are so clearly defined and quirky, eccentric in a way that only John Patrick Shanley knows how to do. And I just felt like, this was it. I was like, this is the one. And, Brían O'Byrne and Doug Hughes, the brilliant mind, and Dervla and John Aylwood, who my very first job out of graduate school in Seattle was Cecily and the Importance of Being Earnest, and John Aylwood was in that production. I mean, everything feels full circle for me about this production.
And it's a great role. Talk about her so far. I know it's like the first week of rehearsal.
I am in love with Rosemary. She is a single Irish country woman who is the only child of a farming family who has had a farm for over 100 years, lives next door to Brían's character. She is strong, and she is stubborn. She has very clear ideas about what the future holds. She has secrets that are really interesting, and she's eccentric in a moving way to me. And so that to have Brían's character living next door, who is also single, he's a dreamer, and he is eccentric in a very different way. And the play follows several years, the lives of these people, bumping into each other and how they discover each other.